what's going on YouTube? This is Clay with Clay's AC and Auto Repair and Accurate Engines here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. If this video is helpful, please consider subscribing, clicking the notifications, sharing my videos, giving me them sweet old thumbs up. And if you've got a question for me, you can always hit me up on Clay's AC and Auto Repair on the Facebook Messenger. I certainly try to answer them for my subscribers when I possibly can, but I will always give you a response. And remember, if anyone else can do it, you can do it too. If my video helps you, at nighttime, turn down the volume on your computer and let one of my sweet Playway playlists play from front to back while you're sleeping. That helps me the most. Okay, to change this crank sensor, right here is the wiring harness for the crank sensor, and we quite simply just push down on this and pull back on this cable here. And if we follow this down, we're going to find that this sensor right here that I've got on the tip of my finger right there is a sensor that we're going to replace. Now, grabbing a 10 millimeter, we're going to take that bolt out right there. Now, it's not a terrible idea to take some penetrant and spray it down inside there, so hopefully it leaks down into the sensor and makes it easier to wiggle. In a perfect world, you'd be able to reach down in there and spin this back and forth, not pulling on it because we don't want to break it. If we do break it, I do have a solution, but we're going to try to move it back and forth. And because it's round, it should move, but in this situation, it's been in there way too long. So I'm going to go ahead and take a pick or a screwdriver or whatever, and I'm going to try to get it worked in the back there. Okay, now we take our pry bar, we put it on the edge of there, and we're going to try to move it. And once we can get it to move up and down, now notice that we're staying here near the eyelet on there. We don't want to pry on the center of the sensor because then we'll bust it off inside the engine block and cause ourselves more problems. Now hopefully we can reach down there with our fingers and start moving it back and forth. Now we can start wiggling it and get it pulled out. You can check the end of it. There's a lot of stuff on there. Could be just cleaned and put back in some situations, but I'm going to replace it because I've already quoted the customer. It. Now to remove the pigtail out of the holder there, we're going to go ahead and slide this clip up and take it out of the holder. With that out of the way, we can bend the prongs up and slide that clip out of there. I just quite simply put my thumb on there and pulled that back. Okay, so I'm just going to touch base on this because I didn't break mine off, but let's say you break yours off inside the engine. What you're going to do is you're going to get a lot longer screw than this, but you want a coarse screw, and I found that wood screws absolutely work the best. And if you take a long wood screw and you heat the end of the screw up about a half an inch to a quarter inch, and then you screw the screw into your broken part, you can then take a pair of pliers and pull the tip out of there without pushing it inside your engine and without removing your oil pan to get this sensor out. Okay, I'm not going to show you the complete reinstallation of this, but I'm going to give you a little tip right here. If you take some grease and you put it in the end of your socket on your bolt head, it'll allow you to put the bolt in there if you can't get your fingers down there to screw the bolt in.
All current vehicles have what's called crank sensors and cam sensors that tell the ECM where the engine is at.
This would have a sensor that goes right here and points into the side of this right here, telling the computer where the engine is located at. And here's a Ford design It's actually on the front of the harmonic balancer. So these can be located just about anywhere on the automobile. It just depends on the different types of manufacturer. Okay, so this is what's called the reluctor ring. And what happens is there's an electromagnet inside the tip of here, the street sale electronic charge. And as the engine spins, it reads this. It's almost like binary code, 1, 0s, 1s and 0s, just constantly repeated. The engine knows it's at top dead center when it hits this big window right here, because the distance from the signal that is sent to the ECM is longer. So we'll show you a waveform and show you exactly how that works. Okay, keeping with the show theme of not only repairing a problem, but kind of giving you a layman disclaimer on what's going on, we're going to talk about crank sensors today and how they actually communicate with the ECM. What they do is a crank sensor will be bolted in a position that it can see this wheel right here. Now this wheel is on the flywheel, it's going to be on the back of the motor in this particular situation, but there's going to be a sensor there that's a Hall effect magnetic sensor, and what it's going to do as the engine spins, it's going to get these little signals from these small boxes, and then when it gets over to this big box right here, it's going to go, hey, I'm at number 1, top dead center, and it's going to tell the computer that it's at number 1, which will restart the computer reading this process.
And as it reads that process, it's going to communicate along with the sensor that picks up the signal from the cam sensor, telling it where the engine is at. It's going to communicate that information to your ECM, and then your engine always knows where it's at and that it's in time correctly. When this signal variates between the two, it shuts itself off and tells the engine not to start because it knows it's out of time. Most engines will not run without a crank sensor. They need the crank sensor signal to tell the ECM where the engine is located, not coordinated with one another. You can unplug the cam sensor and see if your engine performs better. That will also tell you that your engine is out of time and that it needs to be repaired.
Trying to give her the old test-a-rooney and make sure she works. Sweet! Well, hopefully you guys found that video helpful and you learned a couple tricks off of that. If it was helpful, please consider subscribing, clicking the notifications, sharing my videos, giving me them sweet old thumbs up. Remember, if you've got a question for me, you can hit me up at Clay's AC and Auto Repair on the Facebook Messenger. I certainly try to answer them for all the folks that I possibly can. Don't be the next of them, be the first of you, and if anyone else can do it, I promise you can do it too. God bless and have the best of days.